Time to talk about that probably on the next hour. But hey, it's Valentine's Day. We promise you're gonna have somebody to come and get your life straight. If it is straight, then you just get some tips to keep it going.
Trying to get us straight.
Please get them straight.
Man, she's an author. She has her own show. I mean, she's this media mogul, if you will.
Yes.
And she always rock with us this time of year. Got to get on more often. We got Elizabeth Overstreet calling in. Elizabeth, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great.
We're doing fantastic. You know, I was giving Pam a hard time about Valentine's Day.
Can you explain the for the guys in the group the significance
I can explain it to you.
Valentine's
That's for
Day?
women who ain't got no man. They
That
like.
is not true.
You know what? You know what Valentine's Day is?
What?
You just so impatient, you just got to do it yourself. That's what
I
that
don't need
is.
no man.
I do it myself. Well, doggone, do it yourself then.
Elizabeth, could you help us out with the significance of Valentine's Day?
Okay. So it's not that you got to do it yourself. It's that Valentine's Day is not just one type of love. It's about celebrating love, period.
Woo.
So there's love in different forms. Love for your pets, love for your children, love for your friends, love for family, love for your significant other. So sometimes people may be celebrating it in a different way through their friendships.
Let me Google
But it doesn't mean they don't want someone in their life. It just means they're recognizing love outside of the traditional partnership with someone else.
Oh,
And that's why she get paid the big bucks.
I know, but
That
the
was
traditional
awesome.
partnership with someone else. I translate to, well, I ain't got no man.
That is called September 30th, by the way, for everyone that's listening.
What's that?
Okay, well, guys have their Valentine's Day. It's
National Day of
called
Love.
the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Well, you know what? That is so true.
That's so. We got a relationship expert, Elizabeth Overstreet. So, what message you want to give people today on this unbelievable Valentine's Day 2024?
I don't want people to over-index on one day. I know that sounds weird coming from me as a relationship coach.
Right.
I believe in love. I support love, but sometimes people get caught up in this one day, one moment. But really, I always say this: relationships are built 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So it's something you have to do incrementally every day, all the time. And then by the time Valentine's Day comes, things should be good. It shouldn't be this one-off grand gesture, right? You should be showing up for your partner consistently every day. That's what builds the long-term, happy, long-lasting relationships.
Wow.
Wow. I have a question for Elizabeth just because I've been on the hot seat for a few days now on the love story of Travis and Kelce.
You put me out there like that, really?
So not on that one, but
I can't wait to hear
what I
this.
want to ask you indirectly, I am putting you on the spot with them, but indirectly, I guess it's unhealthy to look at people and judge their love, right?
Hater.
Or can you?
Hey, Tom, get that hater button ready.
Yeah, hater.
No, I asked the question because
no.
you said I was being a hater and judgmental.
Yes.
So I'm just asking the love expert, can you look and see when it's real and when it's not?
Hey, time is the revealer of all things.
Thank you.
This is an interesting relationship dynamic. There's a lot at stake on both parts, right? So time will reveal if it's a legitimate relationship or if it's something not being done for the right way. Because we've seen so many high stakes, celebrity relationships that looked one way. Because again, we are getting perceptions. We're getting moments of their relationship,
Right?
And they're going to always shape it in a very romantic, loving way because that pulls people in. And Taylor has a ton of fans that want to see her happy in a relationship, and that's been something that's kind of evaded her a little bit, right? She's had some challenges there.
Right.
So I do think that they are going to continue to they're going to show us the good moments. One thing that did alarm me about Travis, though, is some of the ways that he has exited past relationships, because my thought process on that is the way someone exits a relationship shows you really who they are. And there are ways to exit relationships gracefully. So I do know he was in a long-term relationship with someone else, and there were some things that she shared about his character. And it's like he didn't really acknowledge it in a way until he was forced to acknowledge it, which to me kind of was interesting. And then the other thing that concerned me is I understand sports, you guys. I love sports. I love sports.
Yes, you do.
I understand the intensity of competition. I understand that in those are high-stakes emotional moments, things happen. But I was concerned about how he reacted to Andy Reid and the history of some of the issues he has around anger. So those are things just to be aware of. Because we know in relationships, we all know this, right? sometimes we're with someone and we're like, well, they're not like that to us. But I do think you have to pay attention to how they show up in their worst moments. We're all human. We all have, moments. That was probably a bad moment for him. But also it could be an indicator just to be aware as like how could that come back into the relationship, because sometimes we're like, well, she's difficult or he's difficult with other people but not me, but eventually when you're in a relationship with someone, the same behavior is going to come back around to you as well.
That's right.
So that's the one thing that I was really surprised by that.
Yeah, well, we're talking with Elizabeth Overstreet, relationship expert, and I have so many things I can say about it, but I'm gonna leave that alone because you are correct though about the outburst, but it's not new. He's been doing this since he's been on the team, since he's been on the sideline.
I know.
So,
I know his whole history. So I'm a sports buff. Like Andy Reid gave him a chance when no one else would.
Exactly.
Travis Kelce has performed.
Yep. And he still was acting out.
Yes. So this is something he needs to be aware of, and she needs to be aware of, because they're going to have moments of frustration in their relationship. They both are in two very precarious situations in a way because they're both so high profile now. So it's just something to be aware of.
So Elizabeth, one of the questions I wanted to ask, because I'm not a big fan of looking at from looking into someone else's relationship, like somebody here, and say, oh, they ain't real, they ain't they don't live
like somebody the whole world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but what is it about those two that they can look at one another and say, and how could they start telling, like, is this real? Because there's a lot of things swirling around them that could be distractions or be, marketing ploys, whatever. But what is it that they can look for individually, that they can look for signs to say, this is true love, outside of how they feel personally? Yeah,
like I have some people that I know Travis behind the scenes and Taylor behind the scenes, and they both say they come from kind of similar backgrounds as far as family values and things like that. So I think, ironically, that could be what's drawing her to him. And she's actually operated a lot differently, Taylor has, in this relationship than she has in other relationships, because she's had to control a lot of her public image, right? Because he is in the public eye, and she's had to end relationships because of how some of her ex-boyfriends have acted and things they've said because of the image and the brand she has with women. So she's in I feel like it's tough for her because she's at the height of her career, right? She's really highly successful. And I think especially for a highly successful woman, it could be very difficult because a man who is a stronger personality, and I'm talking about healthy masculinity, not toxic masculinity, guys want to take charge a lot of times, right? It's hard for men to sometimes defer to a woman that is very successful. And if you look at the track record of the Janet Jacksons, the Madonnas, the J-Lo's, if you look at their track record, it feels like it's a little harder for them versus on the other side. So I think for Taylor, I would just say watch how he is. Like, look at his character, really vet it out, because she is real. She has a lot to offer. That being said, I'm not shading Travis.
You're not?
Because he's also... I'm not, honestly, because he's a successful football player. But I think when you have two celebrities come together, even Lamar Odom said this, he's like, once you're with someone high profile, the amount of attention and the amount of the type of women that come at you aggressively is like at a whole different level.
Right, I can only imagine.
Travis has, so if he has issues, I don't know all his story, because I don't follow Travis. I'm not like in his life like that. But if he has issues or weaknesses around infidelity, it's going to get exposed, because it's going to come harder. Because as much as people are rooting for them, there's people rooting against it.
Oh, that's
right.
You got that right.
It's one in the studio.
I am not. But you lost the guys that defer. They don't like that defer word.
Yeah, I mean, I had my hand
lost
up.
them at defer.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one later.
Yeah,
they don't like that defer.
You lost me there.
So, but why do you think men get upset? Like if they're with someone and then they're at a celebrity event and they call them Mr. by the woman's name. Men hate that because to them it's like a sign of disrespect. And the people in the media side kind of do it, create that. You haven't seen that?
Yes.
Somebody who's high profile with someone low profile, they're like, okay, Mr. Jackson. Like that, it is an insult. It's disrespectful. But you have to have a certain man of a certain caliber that can handle that.
No.
Stedman used to just turn his head. It didn't bother him.
No. There's no such thing as a certain man of a certain caliber to handle disrespect.
This is
you don't groom yourself to handle disrespect. No, you don't.
Well, that's a whole nother show.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Remember we talked.
We got to bring you back on more often.
She
I'm not
she
sure
know how to
she-
push the button. See,
She's representing Lamar
different
Odom
levels
as a
of
reference.
maturity.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Lamar. Anyway, we're talking to relationship expert. Overstreet. I got.
You guys got to be open to the messaging because it's. I mean, look, there's different dimensions to people. Like some people have a hard time with emotional maturity, regardless of their age. They have a
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
good. That's good.
Emotional maturity, regardless of
That's
age.
the new word.
See, she know she know what she doing.
She know what she
She know we
doing.
don't
She
have
know
no
what she
time.
talking
Yeah, she know
about.
because she know we up against it.
You know I'm not lying. The audience know I'm not lying.
But let me
You're
ask you a quick
not
question.
lying.
Can I bring it back to Valentine's Day, Pam?
Yes, please.
So does the price of the gift or does that have more impact than
Ooh.
just what the true meaning behind a gift would be for Valentine's Day?
So this comes back to the maturity piece, right? Like if someone loves you and they're showing up for you and they do something that's a kind gesture, you shouldn't be weighing it based on value. If you are, that's probably an immature person in a way.
Oh, okay. So if I have a $3 million net worth and I bring you, some Walgreens flowers,
Yeah,
and you be like, what? What is this?
yeah.
Which one is it? Who's immature?
It's about the quality of the gift and it's about the intention behind the gift.
That's right.
That girl good, man. She good.
You heard the word quality,
Hey, look,
and I don't know if that in Walgreens
Wow.
match.
And if you ever,
What's wrong with Walgreens? One of my favorite stores. What are you talking about?
I'm just asking.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
actually
It's
CVS is a
quality.
better.
I mean, it's about quality. It's
We
like,
gonna argue that, too.
you would be surprised what will impress a woman.
That's true.
And I think
Oh,
the thing is, some people can't. Even Shannon Sharp complains about this on his show, right?
Yeah.
You can't maintain sometimes doing expensive things all the time because you'll be broke. That's the financial maturity of a relationship, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you could do gestures where someone still feels like, I love you, I care about you. Okay, they're showing up. Wow, they care about me. This is thoughtful. You would be surprised. And if you're with someone that is measuring it constantly by the amount,
Yeah. See,
there's a gap there.
that's the problem now. Ain't a gap. That's a
and,
damn
and
problem.
with women, it's a song. This is called "The Simple Things."
oh,
Mm-hmm.
I thought you
I ain't
called-
With
heard
the
that
right
song.
woman,
I thought it was a simple tune.
Yeah.
we'll bring it in. We'll come back to that song, but it's called "The Simple Things." Most women, we love the grander stuff, but it's the simple things to show you care.
All right, Liz, we got like 10 seconds. Somebody that already forgot. They didn't get a chance to do what they needed to do. They got about 4 hours to get this straight. What do you suggest?
Make it right. Think about what makes your, significant other smile. What was the thing that got you guys together? Go
Yep.
back to the history. What lights them up and make it happen. Do something creative. It doesn't always have to be something grand. Again, it's the thought and intention behind
How
it.
can people find you real quick?
Oh, visit me at my website at elizabethoverstreet.com if you want to learn more about me.